When I was 16 years old and I was a little baby vegan, I used to skip school to go to the only vegan-friendly restaurant that I knew of called Life Alive, which is in Lowell, Massachusetts, although now there's several locations. This was many, many years ago. I would skip school to go get this bowl. Now, they've changed a lot over the years and they're still a great place, but the bowl is not quite the same, so I learned how to make it myself and I wanna share with you how to do that today. I know it doesn't look like anything special, but I am telling you, this particular meal is like magic in your mouth. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Danny Taylor, co-owner of VeganProteins online coaching. If you're a vegan who likes high protein vegan recipes and is looking to build muscle or burn fat, you've come to the right channel. Be sure to hit subscribe because we put out new videos every week. This is a very simple recipe that literally has the secret sauce, and I'm gonna show you how to make it. Now we enter Chop City. We are just chopping. All right, we got a lot of chopping to do, so let's get to it. I have a head of dino kale, which is the best kind of kale, and we are gonna chop it all up into a rough chop. You can keep the stems in there. I just don't use the last couple inches of it. I'm gonna go ahead and place it in a steamer basket because we're gonna be steaming all these vegetables. So I just have one steamer basket. We're gonna use one for all of them. Now I'm peeling and chopping about 6 or 7 rainbow carrots. You can use any kind of carrots. I just thought these were pretty. So just gonna dice them up, put them in a bowl, set them aside. Next, we're gonna peel and chop 4 beets into roughly the same size pieces. We want everything to be of a similar size here, about 1 centimeter to 1/2 inch or so cubed. Go ahead and set that aside in a bowl as well. And in my last video where I made the tofu scramble, I used 3.5 blocks of tofu and somebody was like, you might as well have just used 4. Well, now you see why I used 3.5 because I needed that half for this. So 3.5 there, 3.5 here. You use as much as you want, but I used 3.5 blocks of extra firm tofu and I am chopping that up into the same size cubes and setting that aside in a bowl as well. Over on my stove, I'm setting up my double boiler. So I'm just putting a few inches of water in this pan so that I can put my steamer basket over it, cover it up, and I'm going to let the kale steam until it is bright green. So I poured boiling water into this from my kettle so it would go a little bit faster, but once the water is actually boiling, you're talking like maybe 5 minutes tops to get this bright green. So I'm gonna cook up some brown rice. I'm using my Instant Pot. You can cook it however you have available to you, but if you're cooking it in the Instant Pot, it's 2 cups of brown rice, 2.5 cups of water, put the lid on, close it, hit the rice button, and you are done. While that's going, I have another large pot of water that I added a tablespoon of salt to, and I'm just gonna bring that to a boil. Because it's a lot of kale, you might just want to stir it about halfway through just to make sure the stuff on the top also gets steamed. And once that's done, I'm pulling it out with tongs, putting it in a little container and setting it to the side. And then I'm going to dump my carrots in there and do the same thing. Now we don't want these to be mushy, so you do have to keep an eye on them. This took about 8 minutes or so of steaming for them to get just tender enough to kind of poke a fork through, and that was perfect for me. Now in the same steamer basket, make sure there's still water underneath it so it doesn't scorch. We're gonna dump the beets in. I like to do these last because they do color the water and that can change the color of the carrots. So I do them last, but this is gonna be about 10 minutes until they're about the same doneness as the carrots. Oh, beets, you're always making a mess. Should I be cooking beets in a white shirt? On to tofu. Our other pot of water has come to a boil, so I'm gonna put all of that tofu in there and we're just gonna boil it for 5 minutes. Once it comes back to a boil, that is. It's cold, so it's gonna take a minute to come back to a boil. Once that's boiled for 5 minutes, go ahead and strain it carefully. Don't you run away from me. And set it aside. All right, we have all our components now. All right, now we're gonna move on to the best part of the recipe, which is making the sauce. And this is what turns us from a boring bowl of rice and vegetables and tofu into pure magic. So I'm using my little magic bullet. You could use a food processor, but we're not making a ton of sauce, so you don't want to use like a huge Vitamix. So we have 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, a 1/4 cup of water, 2 tablespoons or 32 grams of tahini. I thought I was so smart with this squeezable tahini. 32 grams gone. Okay, that was pretty close actually. Get in there. Mostly squeezable. Mostly squeezable. That's perfect. Got a little false advertising. There we go. We're gonna add 4 peeled cloves of garlic. I got this weird little thing. Check it out. Ready? You put one in. Peeled. Immediately peeled. What is this sorcery? Ready? Ready? Real time. Okay, that one had a little bit of skin left on it, but you get the idea. Flew too close to the sun. There we go. Okay. Crazy. That's usually such a pain. All 4. Boom. And about 2 inches of peeled ginger. Boy, we are just winning everywhere right now. There we go. And we are just gonna blend that up until it is totally, totally smooth. Now, I made enough of every ingredient to make a week's worth of these bowls. Listen, I'm not touching the beets anymore because they keep staining my fingernails. I know it doesn't look like much. This dressing is insane. But they are not complete until you top them with a shit ton of nutritional yeast. All right, now, in my opinion, this has to be eaten with chopsticks because that's how they used to serve it. And you've got to get a little bit of everything in the bite. Easier said than done with the chopsticks. At Life Alive, they would serve it with a little bit more rice. My God, that is so good. To me, this is like true comfort food. Like, not only is it comforting to me, you can ask 𝐬𝐝𝐿𝐫𝐢 anytime I'm not feeling great, I'm like, I want to go to Life Alive. But they're very far away from us, so we don't get to go there very often. But now that I feel like I've really nailed the dressing, this is what we're gonna do. So this bowl, as I made it here, with the 1/2 cup of rice and the 5 ounces of tofu and all the veggies with 2 tablespoons of the sauce, comes in at 394 calories, 43 grams of carbs, 13 grams of fat, and 24 grams of protein. And it doesn't get more nourishing than this. So if you guys give this a try, I really hope you like it. This one's definitely near and dear to my heart. So if you are a vegan who's looking to lose some body fat, build muscle, get in better shape, feel better, learn how to be vegan the quote unquote right way, that's what we do here at Vegan Proteins. Go ahead and fill out a coaching assessment down below. You'll hear back from us within a business day. And if you liked this video, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, all the things I'm supposed to tell you to do at the end of a YouTube video, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.